Where are you right now?
I am in Akron, Ohio.
In your house?
Yeah, I'm in my library.
Wow.
Stylish library.
I mean, it looks like a bunch of books that have never been touched.
Some of those go back to the 14 and 1500s.
Oh, you're a collector, huh?
Yes. All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. This is Roger from Totally Crypto, and today I've got a wide group of guests here to talk about a pretty amazing product. And I'm really excited to introduce everyone to you. So let's kind of go down the list. Stuart Duncan is the founder of the VIT, the Vice Industry Token. We've got Kelly Holland, CEO of Penthouse. We've got Tracy, who's the PR director for Vice. And we've got Eric from Biz Famous, who's also a contributor to Entrepreneur Magazine and a longtime friend. Hello, everyone. Say hi to everybody online.
Hey.
Howdy. Salutations.
Thank you. Thank you. So right now we are broadcasting out to our YouTube channel. We are broadcasting out to our Totally Crypto group with 42,000 live members, and also our Digital Currency Insider Circle group with 400 strategic cryptocurrency investors. So we're going to dive right into the questions. And let me start, Stuart. Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
Yeah, we started our project back in October of 2016. What we were looking for was a way to use a cryptocurrency to monetize the viewing of free content that was available online. The concept was that anybody who was using a tube site wasn't necessarily being paid anything. And I was seeing a decline in the number of studios that I was working with in my broadcast business. Our online business had suffered. So we came up with the concept of a Vice Industry Token and started looking at the Steam blockchain back in October of 2016. And we subsequently started discussions with Ned Scott and Dan Larimer initially there to see what we could do to lift all boats on the adult side. By the time May last year rolled around, Consensus, Dan had gone on to EOS. And Ned was still, we were still talking with Ned, and we were talking to some other people. They want to remain anonymous, some of the founders of Ethereum and some other publicly traded companies in the blockchain space who were interested in what I was trying to do on the adult side. And now, you know, we've successfully pulled through our crowd sale and our testnet just launched.
That's impressive. And I think for viewers that are watching this video and aren't necessarily familiar with your project, you'll be able to click a link below to go over and visit the site and to learn more and check out some of the amazing press that they've had. I think your tagline says a lot: get paid to watch porn. So that's really undeniable about the initial value prop to the market. The question that comes with that is, for content creators, what is the VIT value prop over the traditional monetization model of, say, ads?
Specifically, what it does is it complements that. So if you're in a, you know, there's a lot of there's a lot of tube sites out around the world. We had an announcement just a little while ago that Mech Bunny approached us and they said, hey, look, you know, we like what you've done here. We want to raise all boats too, and we want our script, our tube site script, to be relevant to people. So we're going to build it into what we're putting out as an update and release on all the new Mech Bunny tube scripts. So they're actually doing as an update to almost 9,000 sites that they've already created or helped create. And some of those are the largest tube sites in the world. And then new ones going out, you know, we're going to be built into that. That says a lot. That's, you know, working towards a mass adoption of our token for tube sites. So in the sense that tube site programming, 90% of it is free, they're still going to have their advertising revenues, but now they'll also be able to tokenize and get revenue from the content that they've been giving away. So it's even better, you know, curators, tube site operators, content owners, publishers, producers, licensees, they'll all be making money now. And if you own that content and you're hosting it on your own website, you can keep up to 80% of content and give 20% to the user or the viewer.
So this really isn't an or question. The value really is this is an and. This is on top of what they're already doing. That's great.
Yeah.
How will the VIT help users to see higher quality content, which I think is a great value prop for your project as well?
Kelly, you want to answer that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We'll offer free content, obviously, but once you're in and you're accumulating tokens, then you can trade those inside the ecosystem for higher end content. In our case, because we have so many products, you can trade it for additional websites, publishing product, and you can also cross promote it into and cross trade it into other companies and other content providers.
Yeah, for example, Kelly's going to be able to probably increase the circulation of her Penthouse magazine, because now she's going to potentially have 750 million people around the world earning VIT who could turn around and give her Vice Industry token that's now traded on exchanges, and she could become the most widely circulated magazine in the world.
Or use it, for example, in our e-commerce environment. Or we are about to release the most recent issue of our magazine. It's got Stormy Daniels on the cover, an incredibly extensive interview, everything she didn't talk about on 60 Minutes. And so we'll offer a little bit of that content up front, but obviously there'll be the bulk of that, of those images, and also that editorial content will be behind the paywall. Once we're live with Vice token, then that would be a perfect application for it.
No, that makes perfect sense. So when you guys are looking at the deployment of your technology into this space, how close are you to having the first sites that can pay people to watch porn or can do transactions in the Vice token?
Well, we have our test net up, and we'll have all of our early platform sites as when we drop our native token. Right now we're an ERC20 token, but when we drop our native token, June 28th, we'll be able to front quite a number of sites where people can actually log on, go in, and get paid to watch porn.
Awesome. One of the things that was mentioned in your white paper, which I think is a big macro concept to our economy, is the idea of the attention economy. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that? And I think when we were talking about this previously, you even mentioned that you look at Vice more as a social media network, really, than anything else. How does that all play together?
Well, yeah, I look at it as a social media network with a blockchain and serving an industry. And what I wanted to do was reference, in reference to what I was told by, Comcast, the largest cable company in America. They told me that at one point we were over 35% of their traffic on a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. That changed over a period of about 3 or 4 years to being just under 30%. Netflix still dominated, but there was a rise of social media networks and, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, things like that, Grindr, Tumblr, Reddit. There's so many of them now. Discord, Medium, Telegram. These things are all vying for people's attention. And some of them are even launching their own cryptocurrencies, right? So what we did was, one of the things that genesis my idea was, look, we have to do something to help our industry. The only way we're going to help our industry is by building a social media network tied to a blockchain and pay people for their attention. I really do believe in the attention economy. Everybody listening to this podcast know that we're all challenged for time. And what do we spend our time on? And our time is valuable. Well, we're paying you for that attention. We're not going to be the first attention economy token. We weren't the first attention economy token. I think it was Steam. But we're the first attention economy token paying people substantially for viewing video. We're not just a Vice Industry token, by the way. We're also launching something called a Video Industry token and trying to get mainstream projects launched on that side of the VIT blockchain.
Yeah, because it is amazing underlying technology. It's being applied to a specific industry first, but I can see it as a broader technology play as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we're doing is We've talked about it yesterday. We're coming out with a marketing industry token. We've got a token for the cannabis industry that's launching it probably just after June 28th. Some of those industries actually want to participate in VIT, so we're going to allow them to do that. It really depends on what they want to do. In essence, what we are is we're a blockchain. You can either join our blockchain and work with us, or you can become a meta token on top of our blockchain.
Interesting. One of the questions that comes up, especially when you're talking about using, and I'd like you to talk about how you're doing this, you're going to use people's wallets to help curate content specifically based on their engagement, but there's no sense or there's no element of personal data attached with that, meaning identifiable data that makes it me, Roger Bryan. So that like when we think about like the Facebook security issues that we're facing today, how did you design your system to give people the anonymity that they need, but while also being able to curate content specifically for them?
Well, what people do is when they join our network, they create a wallet. And the reason why they create a wallet is they want to be paid. You know, they're going to be paid into the wallet. It's also a place to start for engaging our blockchain, right? So they'll have a unique address, but you know, they can always delete that address and change to another wallet. We're going to make it quite easy for people to do that as well. I mean, you know, some of the existing systems, well, you know, I'm talking about Steam, obviously. It's kind of clunky. We're looking at a way to streamline that and make it very easy for people to use. But we're sensitive to the fact that people don't want their personal data being used. We're not gathering any personal data, but we need to be able to pay you. But when you do start using your wallet, we will be tracking user engagement and attention to certain specific types of content. So we will know something about that digital address and what it likes to see and watch. So we'll be serving up using big machine data algorithms, predictive, you know, in our predictive algorithms, we'll be looking for ways to serve you the programming that you want to watch, and that we will be doing that. Most social networks do that. You know, Twitter, well, Facebook is notorious for it, but Google does it. YouTube does it. They all do it. Everybody does it. That's how we engage, you know.
And I'm going to throw one technical question in there because I know just a big part of our audience generates a part of their crypto cash flow from this. Your white paper mentions, like you've talked about a mainnet and nodes. Is there going to be an opportunity for token holders to set up master nodes or any type of engagement with by holding?
Oh, absolutely. We concepted the idea of allowing people to store video in our network and paying them for hosting. And we also want to create a network of witness nodes, and witness nodes operate similarly to master nodes. So people that operate a viable witness node will be paid for their work.
Yeah, and I would love more information about that personally for our business. We run master nodes on about 50 different projects, so we would definitely be interested in talking about that a little bit more.
You're a crypto king.
Nerd, crypto nerd would probably be a little bit more accurate.
Do you have a dash node? I'm just curious.
No, we don't have a dash node. It would have been nice to set one of those up earlier last year when they were 1/100th of the price.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Warren Buffett has a dash node he's not telling anybody about, right?
If he does, he probably doesn't even know it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to direct this question to both you, Stuart, and Kelly, because Kelly, being the CEO and having acquired most of the assets of Penthouse, you guys already have established some amazing partnerships, and you're continuing to establish partnerships with every big name in the industry. How are you guys doing that? And what does the future look like from a partnership perspective for you? Kelly, I don't know if you want to jump in first because you've got a very recognizable brand behind you.
Yeah, I'll start first and then Stuart can pick it up. Stuart and I have worked together in the broadcast space for 9 years. And Stuart has always been really ahead of his curve. And Penthouse has always been on the leading edge of technology, first to broadcast space with HD, first to broadcast space with 3D. So when Stuart began developing Vice token, it was, I thought, a brilliant and elegant solution to what was rolling around out there in the tube site space. And I saw it as both a great opportunity to monetize content, but also to message to an entire demographic that was not necessarily our core demographic. And that is always of interest to me. We're a 52-year-old brand, but we are not a nostalgic brand. We have to remain relevant to what's happening today and, more importantly, what's happening tomorrow. And so for me, with my involvement, I think that was the most attractive thing to me, was to be involved in some blockchain technology and to do that. And I have great faith in Stuart and his ability to move this project forward. And I would say, as obviously one of the three great iconic brands in the business, that Stuart had a long relationship with me. He can speak for why he wanted Penthouse involved very early on. But obviously in the blockchain space, it's important to have something that's recognizable and credibility. And I think that we brought that to him, but I'll let him speak to that.
Yeah, so I'll just continue. People should know that we're talking to everybody in the space. And if we haven't already talked to you, reach out and talk to us. You know, I started Hustler TV for Larry Flint in 2003. I was, I don't know if I was first, I think I was, launching Penthouse TV in Canada in 2005. You know, and these were all tough things to do. Now, you know, Playboy's going to be working with the Vice Industry Token. So I've had an opportunity to work with 3 of the top 3 brands in adult worldwide. I know probably everybody now, like Kelly. So it's easy for me to reach out and talk to a lot of people. I think that if anybody's not going to be using an attention economy token to power their adult website in some way, shape, or form in the future, they're going to lose. So I think that after we did the Mech Money agreement, I think it's going to be a simple thing for any tube site to use our token in their website to monetize or tokenize free content. I'm also talking to a lot of gateways. So we've reached out and talking to Shapeshift. For example, we spoke with X Hamster, which are, you know, I don't know where they fit into things, but for me, X Hamster is probably number 2 adult tube site in the world. And they're interested, but they work with CoinGate. So we talked to CoinGate, and CoinGate says, we'd love to do this, but you have to talk to Shapeshift. So we're talking to Shapeshift so we can get our token on CoinGate so that X Hamster can start using it in their site. And the fellow who's running X Hamster, he's kind of a visionary too. And what he wants to do is he wants to monetize, or he was looking for a way to monetize bloggers who wanted to create adult stories and tell adult stories. So, you know, he gets it. So there's a growing acceptance of crypto out there. I just came back from the Phoenix Forum, was talking to a lot of people. I think I talked to the owner of Clips for Sale while I was there, who had a kind of an animated discussion with me. He didn't really believe in it. By the time we'd left each other at the end of the forum, he got it completely and realized that this could be raising his boat in all sorts of areas around the world where he's not currently earning any revenue. So specifically what the Vice Industry Token does for people in my industry is it allows them, for the first time ever, to take content that they've been giving away for free, and now they get to take something back for it. They get to earn something back for it. And yes, it's crypto. But, you know, if we have a huge use across a mass market for our token, it's going to have a very useful utility across a huge swath of adult content, products, websites. You know, you can see the value there.
You can, and that really kind of leads me to my last question. When you think about the future, you've got a combination here of a utility token, a multi-billion-dollar industry, and blockchain. You brought all of these together in beautiful fashion. What does the future look like for you guys 5 or 10 years from now?
I'll just, you know, here's what I think. I think that Kelly, if Playboy doesn't embrace the Vice Industry Token, for example, for the sale of their magazine, and Kelly does, I mean, back in the day, I know that Bob, and Kelly could speak for this, Bob Guccione, I met with Bob in 1995 in New York City. And at the time he had, you know, the internet was just starting. He was wanting to get into broadcast. And he told me that at his peak, he had 7 million magazines being printed and sold around the world, including on US armed forces bases. Well, I'm going to make a prediction that Kelly could be the first magazine ever to break 100 million copies sold in a month. You know, we're talking about a blockchain revolution here, that we're taking blockchain technology, we're taking brand new ideas, we're bringing them to old school businesses, and we're allowing people all over the world to participate with them, young or old or anybody. But we're making it really, really easy. Everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody's got a cheap computer or a laptop or a desktop. I mean, they're everywhere now, smartphones especially. And, you know, what I'm doing right now is giving away some secret sauce here. I'm optimizing our application, our blockchain, so it operates very, very slickly on mobile, because I'm after a global mass use utility here. So that's where we're going.
And I'm going to end with what is probably going to be the most important question, but not before I want to congratulate you guys on listing on HitBTC just a couple days ago, creating that market liquidity that's going to be necessary for those content producers to create that full cycle of an economy. And I warned you about this question, but it's from one of our members. How much porn do I need to watch to be able to afford a cheeseburger?
Yeah, you'll need to watch between 30 and 50 videos to buy yourself a quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh, not just a normal cheeseburger. I can get the full quarter pounder with cheese.
Yeah, we already thought of that. You know,
to work up an appetite. So
you got honestly, you know, like, it's not actually a funny question. It's a serious question. You know, people will be able to actually make money around the world and use it for real world things, right? So in the sense that Steam right now, you know, you've got big involvement in places like Africa. I know I've been in the Steam Nigerian user groups, you know, like these people are making money using the Steam blockchain. I think the world globally is going to make more money using the Vice Industry Token blockchain.
I love it. I don't know, Kelly or Stuart, if you've got any last thoughts. I want to thank everyone for an amazing interview. Eric, thank you for setting it up. Tracy, thank you for coordinating it. Kelly, Stuart, I think you guys have got a home run in this project. There's so many different dynamics to it that aren't necessarily super easy to understand, but just when looking out onto the interwebs. But on this interview, you really nailed a lot of the value props that I think that everyone needs to know about your project. I'm really excited for your success. I'm happy to share this with our community. And Stuart, hopefully we're talking about setting up a masternode with you soon. Do either of you have any last thoughts that you'd like to make sure that the world knows?
I would just like to say for us, everything is about engagement with fans. We, you know, remember, we are Penthouse Letters. We were the first sort of blog site that and user-generated content site. So the ability to use to tokenize that experience and to increase that engagement and incentivize that engagement, for me, is one of the most exciting things about this.
And for me, what I'm going to tell people is, my whole mission here is to de-geek, demystify, make it really easy to use. A lot of people are going to be coming and using that Vice Industry Token globally, and they aren't going to have to know much about blockchain, only that they'll get paid to watch porn. They'll be able to use it across a number of different platforms globally. They'll be able to take it to the next level with us. You know, the problem in our industry has been that a lot of devs have stood in front of their projects and said, you know, this is a very technical world we live in. We're the gatekeepers, we're the bottlenecks, and you can't do much unless you work through us. I'm trying to level that, get rid of it, bulldoze it aside, and make crypto accessible to a world population. I mean, you know, some crypto is actually very, very hard to use. And what I'll always be looking at doing is streamlining it such that it can fit in your digital wallet and you can transfer it and use it very quickly. I'm excited about future products and projects. I'm excited about EOS. I'm not even putting aside that we wouldn't be working with EOS at some point in time. I'm excited about Ethos and the Universal Wallet and projects like that. And in terms of utility, I don't think there's much that you can't do with my blockchain. One of the ideas that I had was I've seen, you know, I can actually tokenize and pay you to use a cell phone. I can then take that cell phone and I can put educational programming on that that smartphone, and I can pay you to get an education globally. I mean, you know, it's almost unlimited, right? Like you're only limited by your ideas, and the technology is buildable. As long as you understand what's possible today and impossible, I'd say that nothing is impossible. So, you know, we'll see where we go.
No, I love it. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, Stuart, do you want to give the links to where they can find you, all the places you guys are available to check out the sale, and, you know, Telegram, like all the different places you guys are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Tracy, if you send those over to me, I'll post it into the YouTube video. That way everyone that watches it from now and going forward has access to everything. If you just want to
Okay, great. That way they can go in, buy, they can watch for when the platform launches and things like that.
Absolutely. Send me over all those links and I'll put it into the bottom of the YouTube video. That way
we're not live anymore, are we?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Yeah, we're live for 3 more minutes.
I just want to say, Roger, before we wrap up, that I'm excited to invest in the cattle industry. As the VIT continues to grow, there will be a huge expansion of people wanting to buy Royales with cheese.
I appreciate everyone. I am going to stop the live stream and we'll still be online. So give me just 1 second.